Hey everybody, welcome to my out of the theater review of WONKA. I keep wanting to call it Willy Wonka. Let's get into it. So first of all, talking about camera, shot on Arri Alexa from the looks of it, or at least from the Arri camera rental, from the end credit. Number two, as far as the camera stuff goes, I can definitely say that they were shooting on anamorphic lenses. I'm not really sure which ones, but I can tell you right now, I like the cinematography. The images have this creaminess to them that I find anamorphic lenses just have in a way that spherical lenses don't, and I thought that it was very interesting. Another thing is, because you are shooting anamorphic, you are getting that scope format. Scope, I find, was used very well as a cinema aspect ratio for this specific movie. And so if you do want to see it in the theater, and I definitely advise you to do so if you want to watch it, they really give you such a wide image that you get with scope. And they don't just give you that, but they actually utilize it, in my mind, in ways that make so much sense in most of the scenes. Is it perfect? I guess not. I don't know. Differing minds will disagree with me and say it sucks or is the best thing ever. I think it's pretty good. I don't know about perfect. I don't know about saying it's bad. I think pretty good, like 85%, it's a solid B. So again, talking about that. As far as storyline goes, I thought the storyline was also pretty good. It is meant to kind of be a prequel to, I would argue, really more the Gene Wilder version of the movie, as far as interpreting it. And I do think, you look, there is quotes from the Gene Wilder movie that are very clearly there. There's homages to songs that are basically pulled from the original movie almost to a T, with slight adjustments. And so for the most part, the movie is got that similarity. However, it doesn't have as much of that cynicalness that we see Willy Wonka have later in life in the 1971 movie or the 2005 movie. So definitely not as cynically in nature, which I found to be very refreshing. But some viewers may find to be, ugh, that's so annoying. I wanted to be more cynical. So depending on where you come down on that issue, you may be with me and say, oh, it was nice. It was more of a, I guess you could say, it's a drama, musical comedy kind of thing. I think that really it is one of these films that definitely is, its goal is to entertain and to have the audience be happy. And so again, I'm not trying to tell you what happens at the end of the movie, but it's a prequel to the 1971 movie, so you kind of already probably know anyway if you just, happen to have seen that movie. But what I can say is that I think it's an interesting premise for the movie. I'm not the biggest fan of remakes overall, but this specific film I thought, pretty good actually. Like I said, I like the cinematography. The sound mix was pretty good as well. I was listening to it in a 5.1 equipped movie theater, and the 5.1 sounded good for the most part. That being said, I've noticed a trend on several movies this year I've watched in the movie theater, and that is that the back surrounds are being used, in my mind, very little. You do hear them in use, but not as much. And I do notice they're used in like bigger, big moving shots or something up in the air, that kind of thing, to kind of, I guess, make it more cool. I don't know. Sound mixers, tell me why y'all wanted to throw some sound in there on that one. But all I know is that I feel like that it would be nice if they put a little bit more stuff in there. But these days, a lot of movies are being mixed for Atmos, which is a 3D sound technology. Anyway, we won't get into that. But the point of the matter is that it's probably just a down mix of Atmos is what we were listening to. Could I have checked that in the next 30 seconds? You bet. But this is the Out of Theater review. I'll do a nerdy, detailed, technical review when it comes out on the internet. So stay tuned for that. But anyway, that being said, I thought that the sound was pretty good. And specifically, now we come to the music in the movie. I thought the music was really good. It's a musical, so you could argue the music, it lives or dies by it, right? If the music sucks, then the movie basically does too. And if it doesn't, then, that helps a lot. So I thought the music was really good. That being said, though, just personal opinion here on taste, I will say there was songs I liked more than others. Pure Imagination was the best. I really loved Pure Imagination. Such a good song. I've always liked that song all the way going back to the 1971 movie. And so, in my mind, it's a good song, the Pure Imagination song. But then there was one that Noodle, which if you didn't know, is one of the characters in the movie that is opposite of Wonka, of Willy Wonka. And I felt that Noodle, her singing voice was good. And so she had a good singing voice, and I felt like that Timothy Chalamet, which was singing opposite her, that voice sounded to me like they complemented each other, and so they kind of do, I guess you could say, a duet in the one of the songs, actually a couple of the songs, and so I thought that was interesting to see, all that play out as far as how that worked. I thought that the songs made sense for the most part, and I thought they cleverly worked them into the story as well. Now, as far as talking about characters, I thought that the character of Wonka was played, again, I thought really well by Timothy. I will say it did take me a few minutes to kind of getting adjusted to his version of the character. It seemed to me he was kind of referencing Gene Wilder, but doing his kind of own interpretation of the character on top of that. I thought that was actually really nice, but it was something that, you kind of have to, I say, that first maybe 4 minutes of the movie, 3 minutes of the movie, you just got to get adjusted to it. Not the biggest deal in the world, but it's definitely there. Now, as far as Noodle, which is another big character, Noodle, her character's interesting. She kind of, like I said, she plays opposite of Wonka, and it's very hard for me to talk about a lot of the story around Noodle and Timothy, Timothy's character Wonka, without spoiling things. But needless to say, there's a bunch of scenes towards the beginning of the movie that kind of set things up on how that relationship's going to go. I thought those was handled pretty well. And, there's different things revealed about Noodle that's, we kind of learn her story in a way, partially kind of with Wonka's. But anyway, I won't get into that any more than that because I don't want to spoil the movie. So, yeah, there's that. Anyway, another big one that we had in here was we have one Oompa Loompa in the whole movie. I've seen some people talk about that being a big deal. I mean, look, I don't see a problem with it. But really, there is only one central Oompa Loompa character. There's just that one character played by Mr. Grant. And that is it. And I also will say that I thought his performance was actually funny and entertaining. And overall, I just thought the movie was good as far as from an entertainment standpoint. I mean, that's what we go to movies for generally, is we pay our money to be entertained for a little while. That being said, out of all of this, what is my final thoughts on this out of theater review? I think you should see it. I really do like it. I thought it was enjoyable, and I didn't feel like that I wasted my money, whatever, going to watch it, getting the soda, the popcorn, all that. It all felt worth it to me to go and see the movie. So let me know your thoughts in the comments about this, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this quick little theatrical release review of Willy Wonka. I keep wanting to say Willy Wonka. Of Wonka, okay? I wish they'd called it Willy Wonka. I guess they couldn't because of the first one. Anyway, Wonka. The point of the matter is, hope you enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts. See you all again very soon. Goodbye, everybody.
And action.